Hello all. In today's session we are going to perform the experiment to plot standing wave pattern and measure standing wave ratio for open, short and match termination at the microwave frequency using slotted section with probe carriage. Now before starting the experiment, let us understand the theory behind this particular experiment. So first we know that any transmission line, if we are using any transmission line and if it is terminated with the load and if that load is not matched load, so here we are assuming that whatever characteristic impedance of that transmission line is there, that is Z0. So you are giving some power to it and you are terminating that line with the ZL, that is nothing but the load impedance. If your load impedance is not matched with your characteristic impedance, what will happen? Your some power will reflect back, and because of this incident power and the reflected power, some waves or the waves are formed inside the transmission line, and that is called as the standing waves. So whenever there is the mismatch between the ZL and a Z0, whereas Z0 is the characteristic impedance of that particular transmission line, there will be the reflection. So what is the relationship of this particular reflection coefficient and unmatched load, that we will see. So the reflection is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So this reflection coefficient we take is nothing but the measure that how much mismatch is there in your characteristic impedance and your, you can say, the matched, or you can say the terminated load. So we need to understand how we are going to find out the voltage standing wave ratio. So voltage standing wave ratio is nothing but the 1 plus mod of reflection coefficient 1 minus mod of reflection coefficient, whereas you know that reflection coefficient, if I want to write in terms of the voltage standing wave ratio, it will be S minus 1 divided by S plus 1. So this is how we are going to find out the reflection coefficient. Now here in our case we are having the probe carriage and we are interested in calculating the VSWR with the help of you can say probe carriage. So how we are going to find out? If we know the maximas and minimas, VSWR is denoted by S and will be calculated by V max divided by V mean. So if you know the maximas, if you know the minimas, it is very possible for you to find out the voltage standing wave ratio. In our case we are having a probe carriage. So with probe carriage we know that we are using a diode detector in the you can say probe. So with probe carriage, or you can say with slotted section, which uses the probe carriage, you can calculate the standing wave ratio which is you are observed by that particular probe carriage is nothing but the square root of V max divided by V mean. So we can measure the maximas and minimas, but as you're using the diode detector, it is a square law detector, so whatever you'll get is nothing but the square of maxima and minima. So whenever you're talking about the voltage standing wave ratio with probe carriage, you need to take the square root. So let us talk about the voltage standing wave ratio for three different conditions. So the first condition here which we are taking is nothing but the short circuit condition. So the first condition, or we can consider here as the case 1. So here I am considering the case 1. So in my case 1, I can say in the case 1 your load is a short, or you can say you are short circuiting your circuit. So short circuit means ZL is equal to 0, whereas in our rectangular waveguide your Z0 is nothing but the 500 ohm. Always the characteristic impedance of rectangular waveguide is 500 ohm. So as we know that reflection coefficient is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, we can write here 0 minus 500 divided by 0 plus 500, which comes minus 1. So voltage standing wave ratio will be 1 plus mod of rho 1 minus mod of rho, which is nothing but the 1 plus 1 divided by 1 minus 1. So in this case it will be infinite. So if I am considering the condition which is nothing but the short circuit, I can say my voltage standing wave ratio must be infinite. Now let us consider the another condition which is nothing but the, I can say, open circuit. Now here we are assuming that our circuit is open circuit. So I'll right here whenever the open circuit condition will be there, we're assuming that my ZL must be infinite. Okay, so ideally my ZL must be infinite, but here whenever you are open circuiting it, your next, what we can say, the load is nothing but the free space which is having a load impedance as 120 pi, which is nothing but the 377 ohm. So practically we need to consider the impedance of the free space. So here I am assuming that whatever open circuit condition will be there, I will have a terminated load 377 ohm. So let us calculate the voltage standing wave ratio. So first the reflection coefficient will be 377 minus 500 divided by 377 plus 500, which is nothing but the minus 0.14. So this is my reflection coefficient for open circuit. So I'm taking here mode of reflection coefficient, which is 0.14. So if I'm interested in the voltage standing wave ratio, it will be 1 plus 0.14 divided by 1 minus 0.14, which comes 1.32. So here I can consider that my voltage standing wave ratio for open circuit condition will be 1.32. Now the last condition, which is nothing but the match termination. So here I am assuming that my ZL is exactly equal to the Z0. So in this condition, I can write for the match termination, I'll write ZL is equal to Z0. So hence, if I'm interested in calculating the reflection coefficient, I can write here rho is equal to ZL minus Z0, ZL plus Z0, which is nothing but the 0 by ZL plus Z0, because both are same, and that's why this will be 0, and that's why S is equal to 1 plus 0, 1 minus 0, which is nothing but the 1. So in the match termination, I'll get the VSWR as a 1. Now let us perform the experiment. Practical, how we are going to get actual values of this particular thing.
Till now we have seen the theoretical aspects of the voltage standing wave ratio, but today we are going to see the voltage standing wave ratio practically. So let us generate the microwaves first, or to see the setup to generate the microwaves. So the first component which we are using here, or the first device which we are using here, is nothing but the klystron power supply. The second is this klystron mount. As we know that our klystron is always associated with the cooling fan, as we are applying a very high beam voltage to the klystron. So there is a possibility of damage, and that's why we are using the cooling fan always with the klystron. Next one is nothing but the isolator. Third is nothing but the frequency meter. Initially we have detuned this particular frequency meter. Next one is nothing but the attenuator. This one is nothing but the slotted line. Now slotted line plays a very important role, a very important part when you are calculating the voltage standing wave ratios. And the last is nothing but the detector mount, where our actual demodulation process takes place, where we are removing the carrier signal from our square wave. Our modulating signal is the square wave signal, as our carrier is the microwaves. So whenever you are getting a very fine square wave on the CRO, we can say that our microwaves are very finely generated. Now right now we have terminated our circuit with the detector mount. Now here we are going to check this particular termination with the three kinds of the impedances. The first one is the open circuit, whereas I am removing this detector mount, I am not attaching anything, and I will keep it open. The second condition, I am short circuiting this particular circuit with this particular shorting plate whose impedance is 0, and the third condition, I am terminating it with the match termination. As you know that rectangular waveguide impedance is 500 ohm, this particular match termination will have the same impedance as 500 ohm. So let us see the first condition, that is open circuit. This is the first condition which we are going to observe. This is the open circuit. As you can see here, I have not connected anything, and here I have connected probe to the slotted line, and that probe is given to the CRO. Okay? So whatever I am getting here is nothing but the standing waves. Now whenever I am moving this particular slotted line, on this particular line you can see there are the maximas and minimas observed on the CRO. Now you can see on the CRO over there, whenever I am moving this, you will get somewhere a maximum voltage, and somewhere the minimum voltage. The minimum voltage will be called as the minima, and the maximum voltage which I am getting will be called as the maxima. So I will take this at this particular point I will take one reading of the maximas and minima. So I will move it on complete line. So I can say this is the minimum voltage which right now I am observing. So it is nothing but the point, I can say 0.6 into 20 millivolts. So my minima when I open circuit it is nothing but the 0.6 into 20 millivolts. So I can say it is nothing but the 12 millivolts. Okay. Next one is nothing but I am again moving this particular probe carriage on the complete line, and I will see where I am getting the maximum voltage. Now I can observe this is the maximum voltage which I am observing on the CR. So this is nothing but the maximum. So I can see here this is 1.8 into 20 millivolts. So I will write the reading 1.8 into 20 millivolts. So I can say this is nothing but the 36 millivolts. So I have taken maxima and minima reading for the open circuit. Now let us do this for the short circuit. So whereas I am connecting, whenever I am talking about the short circuit, I will connect this shorting plate to the slotted line. So I have connected here, and I'll get very fine readings. Again I'll do the same kind of thing with the short circuit. I have again moved this probe carriage on complete line, and I'll see where I'm getting the minimas and where I'm getting the maximas. So here I can say I'm getting the minimum voltage, and that minimum voltage right now will be observed as a 0 volts. So I can say 5 millivolt and something. So I am observing the minimum voltage as the 0 volt. Again I am moving this particular probe on this complete line, and you can see I am getting some of the maximas over there. So these are the maximum voltage. Now I can say this particular will be the minima and this will be the maxima. So I will measure this maxima now. So I can see here 2 divisions and 20 millivolts. So I can say this is nothing but the 40 millivolts. So I have taken this reading here, and I'll again check on the complete line whether I am getting more than 40 millivolts somewhere. No, I am getting the maximum 40 millivolts. So this is the second condition which we have observed. Now let us talk about the third condition, that is nothing but the match termination. I'll remove the shorting plate and I'll connect the match termination. And this is the third condition where we have terminated our circuit with the match termination, where we can say our characteristic impedance is equal to the load impedance. Now we can see the VSWR for this condition. So I am moving this probe on the complete line, and I can see that there is no as such variation in the maximas and minima. So here I am observing the maxima as I can say 1.2 into 20 millivolts. I will write this reading 1.2 into 20 millivolts. So I can say this is 24 millivolt. Again I am moving this probe carriage on the complete line, and you can see on the CRO that there is no as such variation in the maximas and minimas. So minimum voltage here I am getting this, I can say the minima, and the minimum I am getting is nothing but the 1 division into 20 millivolts. So I can say this 1 into 20 millivolt is nothing but the 20 millivolts. So here I have observed the maximas and minimas for open circuit, short circuit and match circuit. So let us see how your theoretical and practical values differs or matches with this particular.
Now, as we have performed the experiment as well as we have calculated the theoretical values, we'll match it with or we'll verify whether whatever we have calculated is correct or not. For the open circuit, we have got Vmax 36 millivolt and Vmin is nothing but the 12 millivolt. As we are using a slotted section with the probe carriage, and if we are interested in, we can say the standing wave ratio, S will be calculated by this formula, that is Vmax divided by Vmin. So if we put all these values whatever we have found there in open circuit condition, 36 divided by 12 millivolt, which is nothing but the if we calculate this particular value, it comes 1.73. So as we know that theoretical we have got 1.32 and practically we have got 1.72. Similarly, for the short circuit condition, S is equal to square root of Vmax, which is 40 millivolt, divided by 0, which comes the infinity. As we have already seen in theoretical and practical, both are same. For the match termination, we have found the little reflections, as Vmax is 24 millivolt and Vmin is a 20 millivolt. So our theoretical standing wave ratio is 1. So let us see how practically we are getting it. So practically S is equal to 24 divided by 20 millivolt, which is nothing but the square root of 1.2, and which comes 1.09. So we can see here the standing wave ratio for open circuit theoretical 1.32 and practically 1.73. Short circuit infinity, practically also we have got it infinity, and here for match termination standing wave ratio ideally or theoretically is 1 and practically we have got it 1.09. So this is all about the voltage standing wave ratio for open, short and a match termination. Let us stop here. Thank you.